Well, good day, friends. I missed this morning. I had a real early appointment. I'm not going to do a word today. I've been doing them for 6, 7 years. I am going to do a word, but I'm not going to post it because I'd like to post something that's personal. I've been very blessed to walk alongside of a pastor for the last 4 or 5 years. He's a teaching pastor, one of the largest churches in Tennessee. And it's amazing. The best way to learn something I found out is to teach it. And then to listen to those that you've had the opportunity to serve and see their responses and see their growth. And so it's no longer me mentoring him. It is truly now iron sharpening iron. But the one thing that we brought up was a thing called a paragraph. And I asked him to do an assignment. I wanted him to write his ordination service as if the Lord was speaking at it, and what would the Lord say to him as an affirmation. And so he did this, and he read that to me today. And I was totally amazed. It really felt as if I was listening to the Lord speak. And it was just one paragraph. Actually, it was two paragraphs within the ordination service. But it was so profound and so spirit-filled. And I told him I wish I had something like that when I was ordained. And he said, Doc, don't you realize that the paragraphs in your ordination service is actually those that God has brought across your path, that He's allowed you to serve? And he says, those paragraphs would fill up a book. And as I thought about that, I thought, what a privilege it is to be allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel. Speaking on behalf of God or for God, or witnessing or preaching for those that pastor, teaching, it's not an obligation. It's a privilege. And if we look at it as a privilege, it so totally changes the concept. Just like I use the word friend, John 15:15 or 5:15 says, He calls us friend. And that's not being disrespectful. And as I've mentioned before, I'd rather have a conversation with my friend than with an IRS agent auditing my taxes, or a judge, or sometimes even your spouse. But to have your friend go along with you. You get in the car, and as we drive, I can talk with my friend. And you notice I say talk with. It's not talking to him or at him. And as I mentioned, it's a dialogue. And as you've heard at the end of my prayer, Lord, we'll talk again soon and often, and I'll be listening until we talk face to face. And then I pause and I say, your turn. And what I found out is during that pause, that's when I hear that tender voice. Now, sometimes I hear a voice that's a reprimanding voice. But either way, I know it comes from my friend. I know it comes from someone that loves me. So y'all have a blessed day, and we'll be back on the Word first thing in the morning. We'll see you later.